rights groups. There are different reports that come out on Liberia. And so today we tend to have these kinds of discussions. One of the reasons, like we said, I that gave us the zest, that gave us the zest to have this discussion is that there are lots of reports in recent time on Liberia that speak to lots of issues. For instance, corruption. Different reports on Liberia about corruption, that the government has performed this way, the country as a whole has performed this way, has performed dismally in terms of the fight against corruption. You want to look at the rule of law, justice, access to justice. There are multiples of reports on Liberia that justice has been denied by the citizens. You want to look at accountability in government and transparency. These different reports also speak to the fact that it is lacking in Liberia. But howbeit, when you read further in these reports, one of the things you will understand that this conclusion is derived from the accounts provided by Liberians. That means you out there, they ask you, they hear from you, your account to provide, the different ways you say it, how you perceived the running of the country, the government, how you perceive the government in terms of corruption, in terms of the rule of law, in terms of accountability and transparency, everything stand out. So we initiate this conversation, folks. We have three areas we are targeting: corruption, the rule of law, accountability, and transparency. So we have a score of 4, A, B, C, and F. So what this means is that if you call and perhaps you want to talk about, you want to speak to corruption, if you grade a government F in the fight against corruption, you want to see the reason why you grade the government F in terms of corruption. If you say the rule of law, you give the government B, you want to give a reason why you are grading the government B. In terms of accountability and justice, accountability and transparency rather in government, you want to see that the government scores C in accountability and justice, oh my word, transparency. Then you say what are the reasons or the reason why you think the government score F in transparency and accountability in government. One of the reasons is we want to have a sense of understanding that how you perceive, this is from an individual perspective, right? So everyone is subject to that opinion on the show. Yeah, everyone is subject to that opinion. What that means is that if the man calls in and say the government scores F in corruption, the government score F in the rule of law, if you call, it's not a right to question what the man say. That's how he perceived. He's a Liberian. He's entitled to his or her view. He or she is entitled to his or her view. That we must establish on the program. So when you call, either you speak and say why you think that the government has scored A in corruption, in the fight against corruption, the government scored A in the fight in the rule of law and justice, and the government scored A in accountability and transparency. You can say it and just provide reason to each of those points, right? This is what we do on the show, folks. We intend to have this conversation. 0770907 907 0880 are the numbers. These are the two numbers to call, and you will be on the program. At 7:30, 7:45 on the program, we will place a call to the EFFL leader, Emmanuel Gonkwe. We are told that organization started, have kickstart. Is that? Yeah, has rolled out. Oh my word, what's the right word to use here? Okay, has begun the special convention aimed at electing leaders. But one of the things we observed on today at the start of that gathering is that for the first time after many years, that Edizana Cummings and Bernard Ayure had the time to shake hands. After lots of controversy, different things they said about themselves in the public, to the had time to, some may say, smoke the peace pipe for the better choice of words. But folks, this is a conversation 07709079007 08809079007 are the numbers. We have three areas, like we said. Corruption, create the government in terms of the fight against corruption. How do you see the government fight against corruption? Right? It is that they are on a B mark, it is that they are on a C mark, or it is the government's on an F mark. How do you see the government in terms of justice, access to justice, and the rule of law in this country? It is that the government is on a C, is on a B, or is on an A mark. You want to say accountability and transparency. How do you perceive the government in her area? 07709079007 08809079007 add the numbers to call and you'll be part of the program this evening. This is Issues of Today, folks, on the Voice of Liberia. We began to take your calls now. 07709079007 08809079007 the numbers. Oh my word, what is happening with this line? I think my producers notify me. My producers notify me that I have to check one of those lines. Yep. You have to look at them. Okay. I think something's happening. Good evening.
How you doing?
Let's hear you quickly. The name where you called from.
Yeah. Thank you for the program. And I mean, it's good to be on the line. JB, change my name. And I'm calling from Single, Morovia.
JB, call from Single, Morovia. Let's begin. In terms of corruption, how do you grade the government?
I'll give an F.
Why are you getting F?
Because a lot of infidelity is happening in the country.
Let's look at justice.
Life,
Let's look at justice and the rule of law.
And no accountability in the rule of law.
So everything you get a government F.
Should I do?
Everything you get a government F.
Yeah.
All right, 07709079007. For he, all and lots of reasons, according to him, like you listen, he feels that everything has been squandered, opportunities have been squandered, justice has been denied, no accountability. So he feels that the government, in those three areas, they have dismally performed. So he gave them F. What is your great point, folks? Let's take more calls. 0770 907 907 0770 907 907 0880907 907. Adding numbers. We have to. Yeah, my producer is doing everything to look at this line. I just don't know why the calls keep rejecting. I just don't get it. I know again. It's another thing. Another person. Good evening.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, is this Sekou?
You're live on Voice of Liberia. This is not Sekou, but this is Voice of Liberia.
Okay, thank you very much, brother. In the aspect of corruption, I grading the government D.
D.
Yes.
B.
Yeah.
Okay. Why grade the government?
By the government giving the ACC the prosecuting force, it simply means they somehow trying to fight the corruption, but not actually to some extent.
Let's move to the rule of law and justice.
When it comes to the rule of law, I agree the government C.
C.
Yeah.
And why you grade the government C?
Because still around here we got government and officials that are taking advantage over citizens, inflicting their right because probably they are government officials, and when they come into the police station, they can either compromise the case, and to some extent, even though there are some issues where government officers have been taken to the police and they get arrested. I don't know. Even the case of Yeke Kuruba inflict on the man, beat up, order for his security to beat up on the man. They beat on the man. At the end of the day, the police couldn't arrest him. So when it comes to rule of law, agreed. And C.
Let's look at accountability and transparency quickly.
When it comes to accountability and transparency, I grade them B.
D.
Because the government, B, B, B.
B.
B, B.
Yeah, B. Get it.
Yeah, because the government is very transparent and resourceful. Whenever they go out there and they manage to earn an international donor, they can announce it to the national public. They can use the necessary media to make it known to the citizens that this and this is what they can. Government is resourceful to the citizens.
Okay, thank you very much. Exactly how I wanted to go. Folks, you listen to him. I enjoyed the way it was. If you say A, you just give a reason why you think you are grading the government A. If you say B, you just give a reason why you think the government deserves B in a specific area. Very simple exercise we are conducting this evening, folks. 0770907 0880-907-907. We'll take more of the calls. We'll keep trying. The lines will give me a little bit of problem, but keep trying. Yeah, we'll get on calls. We'll get everything up. 0770 907 907 088 0907 907. The numbers. Call us on these numbers and be live on the program this evening. 10 more of the calls on the show. We'll do it like this up to 7:30. Yeah, at 7:30 we'll have a conversation with Emmanuel Gunqued via telephone. It is our understanding that the EFFA has begun its convention. Lots of issues was raised. We saw lots of activities ongoing today. We tend to highlight some of the happenings on the program. That's at 7:30. But today we take more of the calls, folks. 0770-907-907 0880-907-907. I just don't know what is happening.
Hello, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
You're live.
Yeah, Moses speech calling from Bagu Avenue.
Moses, let's hear you.
Yes, sir. I agree. The government be in transparency.
Transparency. Why grade the government B?
Yeah, because the government has done well. Like, if anything occurs among the leaders within the government, it is announced to the public. And the public are aware.
Let's
that
move.
this is what's going on.
Let's move to corruption. How do you grade the government in corruption?
Yeah, corruption. I agree the government B.
B. Why
Because
grade
the
the government B?
seems to be transparent in anything they do. They will make a public announcement that people will be aware and people will be in the know. If there is anyone in the government that is corrupt, the government will bring on board up that people so that they can face the full weight of the law.
Lastly, the rule of law and justice. How do you grade the government?
Yeah, but for the rule of law, I agree the government C.
C.
Because
Why?
there are other people who are in government circle, they are committing crime and the government is camouflaging them.
Okay. All right. We'll take this person as well. Good evening.
Good evening.
You're live. Let's hear you.
How you doing?
You're live.
Hello, Channel.
You're live. Let's hear you.
Well, thank you. This is Emmanuel Smith. And I'm phoning from District 6.
Go ahead, Emmanuel. Let's hear you.
You know, this is a disaster. The entire government is a disaster. And if you ask me to grade this government, I would say the worst thing to ever happen to this country is to have this government in power. Look, this government is a disaster that is upon this country.
Let's begin with a grading point. Let's begin with corruption.
Look, the worst government ever in the history. The government can steal. The government can steal. When they say rule, that the people in power, they are the most criminal-minded people ever in the history of our country.
Let's look at the rule of law and justice.
It's laughable. People can see. They can't catch themselves. They can't catch the people who can steal. The hair can steal. The lowest man can steal. No justice. You kill people that for nothing. You steal that for nothing. Anything you do that for nothing. This is the most dangerous thing to ever happen to our country in this modern time.
This government is a disaster. We don't need the kind of people in power because the people they are like the devil who came to kill, to steal, and to destroy. And these are what we see happening in our country today. So for me, I would say if I was greatest government, I would say that the worst thing to ever happen to this country is to have the bunch of vampires and criminal-minded people in power. Thank you very much.
Thank you. He great government in all of those areas. We take more calls. Good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
You live. Let's hear you. The name where you called from.
I'm Moses and I call from Toronto.
Mostly, let's hear you. We have 3 grading points here for the national government. Begin with corruption. How do you see the George Weah government in terms of corruption, the fight against corruption? Oh my word! Exactly what I was saying. I'm challenged. I'm challenged with the phone. Yeah, my producer is looking at it. I hope he. Yeah, I hope you just look at it. 0770907907907. We'll take this person. Good evening.
Yes, I own a lamp, but I don't know why I went off.
Let's go ahead. You live.
Yeah, for me, this government, when it comes to the rule of law, I get them 0. I get them 0. When it comes to the rule of law.
We get A, B, C, and F. So that's grading now.
Oh, like getting F.
F.
Yeah.
In terms of corruption.
They are not doing nothing to solve the corruption problem or to minimize it. Even when there are cases reported that has some evidence of corruption, they don't even go after it. I give you one clear example. When the guy who was the manager to the port of Buchanan left this country and went to the United States, he gave some revelations about the former port manager. The government did not do nothing about it. The president did not care. This year is concerning the image of the country, it's concerning the image of the government. Let me take some action. He didn't do it. Whenever another man go to one day and say, it's a man still about why he says you can't rely. The man will come to Liberia so they can kill him.
Let's look at the rule of law and justice. Justice and the rule of law.
No justice, nothing there. So I get it. The CF.
Okay, he get it. We'll talk to this person. Good evening. Exercise becoming interesting.
Hello, good evening to you, Sheku Sherry. Good evening to the voice of Liberia family. Good evening to my fellow Liberians on Radio Land this great evening, this great Friday evening.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for the opportunity you are afforded us as a Liberians to speak to our fellow Liberians on Radio Land so that we can consultate them how to do the right thing, Council October 10. By the way, the introduction, I'm Alfonso A.F. Kamara, calling for district number 10 to be precise. I joined this conversation from my resident transformer community this great evening.
Alfonso, let's begin. In terms of corruption, how do you grade the government?
All right. You see, these people, we were told for now to judgment day. The people cannot change. They say, pour down what in your hand, but you cannot pour down what in the blood. As inborn tendencies. These people, they are wicked to us, they are bad to us, they are us. We know what us is. So who does not care about another person's problem? When they pocket foot with money, they feel everything is okay with people. This is what the government look like. They are going around, we have the sensation that everything is well with Liberia-VOL, everything is okay with Liberia-VOL. If everything is okay with Liberia-VOL, we will speak with one unit, with one volume, comes on authority. We will pressure the people.
Let's begin. How do you grade the government in terms of corruption?
How can we get rid of the people for corruption?
How do you grade? We are grading the government in 3 areas: corruption,
the rule of people.
F. The rule of law and justice. Let's look at justice and the rule of law.
The justice they are 0. 0 times 0 times 0 is 0. Make it 0.
And accountability and transparency as well.
They not even work to accountability, they are novice to it. They are blindfolded to accountability.
Okay, we'll talk to this person. The exercise becoming interesting, like I said. Good evening and thanks for joining us.
Good evening, sir.
It's great to have you. Let's hear you. The name where you called from.
This is Augustine Cooper, and I'm calling you from PNG.
Go ahead, Augustine.
Yeah, I think you have 3 separate categories that we have to grade the government, right?
Exactly.
None is corruption. Okay, corruption is theft. There's no time that this government is fighting corruption. There are cases with overwhelming evidence. Overwhelming. You don't need to be a lawyer to know that people are guilty of corruption. But they don't even make an attempt to prosecute. Not whatsoever. Second, rule of law. My brother, at least negative F is what I would give this government for the rule of law. There are cases in court. People are alleged of committing crime. You see them moving free, scot-free. As if to say there is no court. So why do you give this government credit for rule of law? There is nothing like rule of law. And what's the other category?
Accountability and transparency.
Transparency, that's another negative F. There is no transparency whatsoever. You see, even the budget that they put past, there are discrepancies in the budget. People recommend. A notable example is the clinic that is existed in Bon. The representative for our district came on and told us that there is no clinic that existed there for which there was a stipulated budget. I think 10,000. So what's the transparency? Nothing whatsoever. So the only thing I was the government pay for is that the improvement in the life of those that work for the government. The chief executive down to his lieutenant. That one is called A+. Because they jump overnight. You will see somebody who are living in an apartment, building duplex within a course of within an hour. So they score A for themselves. Thanks a million for the opportunity.
Thank you. 07709079070. 08809079070. Exercise becoming interesting. Lots of calls coming in. 07709079070. 08809079070. We have three areas this evening. We're looking at corruption, the rule of law, or some say access to justice, and transparency and accountability in government. You have a score of A, B, C, and F. How do you see, from your perspective, how do you see the working of the government in those areas? We talk to this person. Good evening and thanks for joining us.
Hello.
You're live. Let's hear you.
Yeah, evening. How you doing?
Go ahead. You're live.
This is Maurice from the Borough of Fulton. Based on your topic, on our discussion, yeah.
Let's begin with corruption.
I don't know which of the area that you are gaining this government from.
We begin with corruption. Corruption, the rule of law, and accountability.
Let be objective. Yeah, in the sense of corruption, people are saying that this government is corrupt.
You need to speak to your own. I mean, that's why we say everyone is from an individual perspective.
From my point of view, regards to corruption as alleged corruption, I can say it, put it in that way. I don't think that I have not yet had proof of it, honestly speaking. The reason that people are saying that this government is corrupt, one of the reasons that for me I surmise on, because someone is making $3,000, $4,000 US at the end of the month, after 6 months they build their house. You take that as corruption. Then I don't blame them. The reason is that I'm not government official, I'm not a spokesman for government. The past administration, bulk of those who work in our government, they don't have no resident here. They were living at the hotel. But bulk of the officials of this government, they are teaching us their base here.
So what's your score? What's your score?
They save their money, they pay their house, they take that as corruption.
What's your score for corruption when you are grading the government? We have A, B,
I
C,
will grade them
A,
honestly speaking.
Okay, you grade the government A in corruption against corruption.
Because they posted the government corrupt, but you are not giving nobody no.
Let's look at the rule of law. Let's look at the rule of law.
The rule of law is somehow shaking because the reason is that when you don't have this, you don't have no justice. I'm gonna be very more objective.
Okay, so what's
the score? If you don't have money to push your case, you don't have no justice.
What's the score?
And for that reason, that one I can say C.
C. And lastly, accountability and transparency.
Based on what you are thinking about, accountability and transparency, at the end of the day, every institution made a report to the relevant agency. that the auditing commission made that whatsoever audit of the ministry, if they have any crime, it's based on the rule of law again. That way he lies. In that aspect, I can say 70.
70. So he graded C.
Yeah. 70, yeah.
Okay, we take calls. Good evening.
Yes.
Good evening.
Hello. Good evening.
You live, let's hear you.
Okay, my name is Sarah Sawie. I'm calling you from district number 17. Maserati. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank you for the show and thank you for accepting my call this evening. When it comes to this government being corrupt, it is indeed proven that for all indication, the government is very, very corrupt. My brother, can you imagine a common certain major saying they will give 50,000 to get the perpetrator who murder the daughter of the former chief justice minister? Can you imagine that? 50,000. Where can you do that? He didn't even say in the name of the government. Where you get that money from? That very man go to Cinco. He got 2 houses. The other one, that Chinese company he hired to build it in less than 2 years. The president, those guys, the Ebola money, they squander at the Ebola reserve, and up to this time, there's nothing to say about it. So I grade them C, negative C.
C. Let's look at the rule of law and justice.
That one too, I tell you that C.
C.
What do we say about the 3 boys that got killed? And Semose's name was all around about it. He took the boys. Today, when that thing happened, the very government sent people to Semose's funeral to protect his property. Let's look at the 3 auditors. Where is the case today? Let's look at Princess Cooper. Imagine that girl, the way they kill her half son, and government came out to say she died from TB. Today, you can't hear anything about that case. The president came out when those 2 guys got murdered in a car, the man and woman. The president came out. He said they were doing man and woman business.
Let's look at lastly accountability.
So again, C, negative C again. Lastly,
accountability and justice.
Nothing.
C.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. These people say they reduce, they harmonize salaries to bring in seditions. Go at the Ministry of Finance. They had 600 employees during Ellen time. Right now, they got over 1,000 employees. We can play one radio station where you can hear Central Bank governor saying the list is coming from all over. So right now, we got to live by the president mandate. This government has failed up massively. Thank you.
Thank you so kindly. We take a few more calls. Like we said, 8:30, we'll place a call to Emmanuel Gonkwe, who will run out the conversation up to later on the show this evening. He listened to Liberia and speak like mind, how they perceive the workings of the government. This person is right here. Good evening and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, how is it?
You're live.
Yeah. For me, this government, when it comes to corruption, I give them corruption blanket to sleep.
What do you mean by that?
That blanket, you know, when you cover yourself in bed with blanket, you cover all that body, everywhere that body. That one is a complete thick blanket they use me. Then, when it comes to rule of law, you get another color fair, you must have money to stand strong. If you don't have money, you're out. Then what the other areas you talk about again when it comes to creating the government?
Accountability and justice. Accountability and transparency.
Yeah. When it comes to that area, my brother, I think we have to buy, we have to get on the channel less so we can see clear. But our place stay dark. Thank you.
Thank you. We talk to this person. Good evening and thanks for joining us.
Hello.
You're live. Let's hear you. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, I'm Michael City, and I call you from District 12.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you for this show tonight. And I want to say that this government is highly corrupt. You can see corruption walking on the street of Morovia.
and you can see the corruption on the faces of government officials. This government is very, very much corrupt. So when it comes to corruption, I grade them big F. The Firestone S. Yeah. You see?
Rule of law and justice. Justice and the rule of law.
Let me quote one of the callers that said F also. Because when it comes to rule of law, somebody just called and mentioned all of the killing that took place. What have been all the results? Nothing. They have not brought public officials who have been corrupt, who have been allegedly corrupt and were dismissed. Let's look at this guy, Nathaniel Magay. Nathaniel Magay, who said he challenged those people that alleged him of that stuff. Why can't he go to court now? Why can't he bring evidence to prove himself that he is not corrupt and the government is not doing anything about it? Nathaniel Magay, right now, you still have people guarding him. He riding government official car. Can you imagine that? You see, this guy is still on payroll, taking government pay. So when it comes to that area too, I gave them big S.
Accountability and transparency.
Accountability is just the same thing. It's just the same thing. Somebody talk about the port manager at Buchanan. Have they done anything about it? Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. This government is the most corrupt government ever. This government has caused people not to even go to school again. And they encourage education. People went to school. I'm one of those people. Like my brother, I'm a teacher. I had C certificate when I started to teach. And then my salary was like 120. When I had AA, I went to 220. When I had BSc, I went to 320. Then when I got master, I'm telling you, I went to $1,000. My take-home salary was 800. Can you imagine the people give me a slash into three? This government is the people just came to I mean, my brother, can you imagine today what happened at District 10? I was on the scene where Sidisha is planted and sending text message to Mama Moruha, they should mobilize the first time voter. This government is highly corrupt, my brother. I was there. That lady, you could see the guilt in her. And some stupid guys were talking to.
We hold you there. We won't entertain such anyway. But folks, it's already 7:31 from where we sit and broadcast. 31 minutes past the hour of 7. Yep. It can be a lot of calls coming in. We have lots of calls, but we have. It is one coming in. But I have it right here. Lots of Liberians continue to make in. So we just do our summary quickly. We won't pick in a call in the discussion again. We have about 12 persons that called, and out of 12 persons that called, we'll have about 12 persons that called, and out of them, for corruption, a majority of those that called branded the government in terms of the fight against corruption as not doing much to fight corruption. In terms of I need to get this thing straight. In terms of rule of law, as well, those Liberians also weigh in, and accountability as well. Most of those are called lacks confidence, lack confidence in the government in terms of access to justice and the rule of law as well. And so this is where we have right here for you. We want to do this thing to have the guys on, like we said. We don't have everything possible to bring them on, especially. Okay, so like we said, we're going to have with us. Thanks to all of you that called on that segment. It's important we're doing, but thankfully we have with us the head of the economic freedom fighters of Liberia, Emmanuel Gonkwai, joins us on the program. Good evening and thanks for joining us at a very short notice.
Well, good evening, and good evening to fellow Liberians. And let me say thanks to all fighters of the economic freedom fighters of Liberia. who turned out today for our historic National People's Assembly, in which we were allowed and given an opportunity to elect our leaders. So wonderful, though a little bit stressed up, but what a wonderful event, what a history we have made today as young people.
It is certainly it is a history. We follow up on that. We want to begin by firstly in terms of the attendance. We saw a jam-packed hall today. As you wrote out your convention, what does that signify to the public?
Well, I think you are journalists and you've been given the opportunity to watch a lot of political conventions in Liberia. Perhaps maybe over the last 5 years, this is the most biggest political convention that have been organized in Liberia over the last 5 years. And we did so because we wanted to show to our critics that people usually say, oh, EFF don't have number. EFF don't have number. So we wanted to show to them that, look, we are not a noisy political organization. We believe our strength is rooted in our understanding of what we want to do. So if we want to pull out number, we pull out a number. So today, we just disprove a lot of people who sometimes believe that, oh, EFF don't have a number. And we challenge everybody, we did not do our convention to our party headquarters, the other political party we do, though they have all the luxury of resources. We challenge the status quo. I mean, we have, like you said, a jam-packed, conventions. A lot of people could not enter the hall, and that was amazing. I just want to say thank you, to the leadership and the delegate. We imagine the Maryland delegate in the ride on motorbike, half a trip to Moru motorbike. I'm the commitment who have shown, like, to be very honest.
Your line is coming in broken. I don't know, but
If you don't mind, I can. If you don't mind, I can call you straight instead of WhatsApp. I can call you straight.
Okay, all right. I think that would be preferable. Yeah, I think that would be preferable because I'm getting the feedback. All right. We hope we can bring it back on. Something important I want to talk on our convention. Something we want to talk about our convention on today. Something interesting happened on our convention. That's why we're doing everything possible to bring Emmanuel on. He's the head. That's what I'm doing. He's the head of the Economic Freedom Fighters of Liberia, and Emmanuel Gonkwe. So we're doing everything possible to bring him on the program. I hope he's the one. Okay, we have him from this end. Eddie, thanks for rejoining of us. Oh my word, where is this thing? All right, Emmanuel.
Because of what we have achieved today as young people, and I was really, really touched by the fact that the delegates from the Southeast, knowing that the roads are bad, but they decided to come with motorbike from the Southeast all the way to Monrovia. I mean, I don't know. I'm speechless, to be very honest. But I thank God that we had a very successful event, and then we put our critical shame, and there are people who have always said, EFF don't have number, EFF don't have number, and we have shown the people that we don't brag about number. When we want to move the population, will move them.
One of the things that still remain a bit doubtful in the minds of Liberians is that you are just a newly certificated political parties. I think some few months ago you were certificated by the National Elections Commission, and this is a national convention. We saw a hall, imagine like the Pinsville City Hall, with such a number. How do you do it? I mean, what are the strategies you use to get at that point, Emmanuel?
Well, I think all the years have shown
as a leader of the EFL, we have shown commitment to advocacy. We have shown commitment to our structure. We are grassroots organization. We are on the ground. We are dealing with young people who have been radicalized to believe in the EFL. Right now, we are working towards radicalizing the older generation to believe in the founding manifesto of our party. So we are right on the ground with the people. I'm a leader that, most of the structure can have access to. There's no bureaucracy in talking to me, the young people. The older women, you saw the whole, the older women feel. And it's the same strategy that I'm using in my GB County. With me, I'm competing head to head with somebody, government money, student government money, and running for the Senate, and I'm that person. So I'm just using the same strategy. And today, like you said, that was red, and no political party in Liberia will underestimate our potential. There are a lot of institutions in Liberia, but most of the young political institutions you can EFL. Even most of the elite political parties, you cannot compare them to that of the EFL.
We want to move now. There's this video that's trending on the social media from your convention that the ANC political leader Zana Cummins and the ALP political leader Bernard Ure, for the first time after several months, had the time to shake hands as a sign of reconciliation on today. You can have to give us what's surrounding that development. To what extent did the EFF managed to bring those those political leaders to the convention so that they could reconcile their differences?
Well, like I always say, I'm not just a kind of political leader in Liberia. I'm very young though, but I come this school with that sense of maturity. I understand exactly as political actor to move this country and what we can do as leaders to distinguish ourselves and give hope to the Liberian people. That failed was very opposition has been very noisy. I've been having discussions with different opposition leaders. I anticipated that Stand-Up Barrow would have been there because I met with him. They encouraged him to come. I've been talking to all of these leaders. We've been trying to see how we put them together, reconcile the opposition, and move forward. So the out of power. I've been doing that behind closed door, and I just wanted to demonstrate what we've been doing behind closed door, what we've been saying behind closed door. We need to exercise that. So that's why we called on Mr. Cummins and called on Mr. Bernard Ure. Said indeed Joe Baca was not present. We called the two of them and they had to shake hands. I mean, we will continue to push for a united opposition bloc, even if they do not contest party ticket, as it is almost appearing glaring, but we can have a space so that if there will be no issue from, let's say, for example, that emerges runner-off to George Weah, there should be no for Joe Baca as a hell of a united party in support of Mr. Cummins. If Mr. Baca emerges runner-off, there should be no problem. Absolutely. I'm supporting my brother. So those are some of the conversations and plans, that we from the EFF having behind closed door with all the opposition leaders told us, at the convention we could manage to get here.
One of the things one of the questions that remain unanswered, and we believe perhaps from what we look at, you could provide a better understanding or better interpretation, is that after the demonstration on today, what they demonstrated on today by shaking hands, and we saw them in a reconciliation mood. Does this suggest that the long-standing disagreement between the both of them is being settled as we speak?
As to whether they are questioning the a long-standing disagreement. Like I said in the hall today, action to be conflict. I rather consider the action to be on fundamental political issues. So what we're going to do continuously is to continue to build our relationship. I was very blown with the two of them. I said, look, if you guys love Liberia and love Liberia, you have to understand that we young people are walking in your shoe. And we are learning. We are learning from your example. So if you claim to involve the people who are in this hall, and you want a better Liberia, sure, it's time of leadership. And they were compelled to shake hands, like you said. I'm close, though. We will continue to engage them. I'm aware that, and Mr. Boaka will not run on the same ticket. I'm aware. I'm certain that, the former vice president will be named this. I'm aware of that. But at the same time, we want to make that even if Boaka is naming his running mate and Cummings is naming his, we are going to election at a separate front. We want to make sure that they one another. We want to make sure that in the run-up election, because one of them will emerge as a runner-up. So if one of them in the run-up election, we should opportunity for the two of them to come together once again, or for all of them to come together once again. And that is the message we're trying to push across.
We're going to look at now that has happened. Is this a normal thing that the EFFL will continue engaging other opposition leaders with a spirit that you should have a united opposition, given an instance where, one of you will have the opportunity to go for the second round, will go for the second round that the opposition community will rally Ryan to support such an individual?
But yeah, brother, the EFFL has all, within the, we all played a leadership role. We played a major leadership role, in the bring back our money. The protest for the establishment of World and Economic Bank Code would be a major factor. In this country, people don't recognize the effort of individuals, who sacrifice and risk their lives. So people try to claim these protests. The June 7th protest, you can see that the end of the June protest, all the people just try to steal the show and then it happened because of us. Even though, same with this and that, for a process where we are no longer collaborating with them, they cannot prove themselves, to show that they are in control and they have popularity. So, we always been there to be the leader in the opposition. We've never been arrogant about it because we're people. We want to make sure that we are building a home and new political future. We have never been arrogant to achieve in this country, but we've been in the opposition as a mission. Continue to show that.
And we're going to move forward now to our next point. As the convention, what are some of the resolutions perhaps will come out from the convention, or what the convention is seeking to achieve?
Well, adapted our constitution today, of course, elected the 45, Central Revolutionary Council member. So we have 45 Central that got elected. So officially I became, by the National Elections Commission standard. Our standard as EFFL, we say it on the president, and also convention today. And the coming days, we have put the convention report and submit to the National Elections Commission. Now to feed candidates on our party convention, you cannot feed candidates on the party ticket. Now that we have achieved that milestone, we are not going to be having discussion with candidates, that we will be having on our party ticket moving forward.
And Amanda, thanks so kindly for accepting our invite in a very short notice. Before we take leave, quickly, is there another thing perhaps you want to send out to the public or those Liberians listening?
Well, Liberian listening, what of viewing on this platform, I would say this to you: the Economic Freedom Fund of Liberia is here for the long haul. This is the only political institution. I've always said, without any disrespect to most of the political parties, I've always said most of the political parties, they are campaign committees. They are not political parties. Washington War, immediately after the election, they will all disappear. Gaza, the flag will be torn up. It should not be in the country. And every election will come in and organizing political parties. We will be, and any opposition government that will win the presidency, they will feel the same giving George Weah. We will fight them for the better of the country. So, opposition political party to come to power, they should not be complete them, or they should not be certain. I will not fight them. We will fight that will take power because we want it better for the producers. I'm encouraging Liberians to find a home in the economic system.
Thanks so kindly. He's Emmanuel Gonkoen, the political leader now of the Economic Freedom Fighters of Liberia. We actually placed this call to him because it was very important that I actually place that call to him because we saw today it was from that convention that the political leader of the Alternative National Congress, Zanan Cummins and Bernard Ure, today smoked a peace pipe. They had a reconciliation after months, for the both of them for months now, they've been. They couldn't see each other, needed to talk to each other. But today at that convention, we saw them, they shook hands, in a spirit of unity. And so because of that, it was through the EFF modalities that it worked out. And so we felt the need to call him. But folks, but some issues of today on the Voice of Liberia. Today is Friday. It's Fridays on the weekend. And on a weekend of this, we'll have some serious discussion for serious people. We listen to out of our concerns and what have you, but so as it stands, it's very important. We say thank you so very kindly for those of you that call in, those of you that place a call. It's always important we have these kinds of conversations. Like I've said over times, we can only build Liberia if all of us, we have these kinds of discussions, right? We discuss, we agree, we dialogue on solutions, on issues that are paramount to the growth and development of Liberia. So we're just going to read you through quickly before we take leave on this conversation. We're going to read you through some of what President George Weah said on today. Oh, yes, I got this. What President George Weah said on today, as we take leave of it, says, President George Weah has once again urged citizens, most especially eligible voters, to register ahead of the October 10, 2023 presidential and legislative elections. He said the 2023 electioneering process, which begins with the voters' registration, provides the opportunity for all eligible Liberians to vote and be part of the national leadership decision-making. Speaking to journalists on Friday, March 31, 2023, upon completing his voter registration, the president said, it is the right for every eligible voter to vote, and this begins with the registration. He also pleaded for good behavior to avoid violence and patience. He said, your vote is your right to choose your government. To be able to exercise the right, you must first obtain your voter's registration card. You must be peaceful and orderly. President Weah called on citizens to be patient, despite the long queues of potential registrants at registration centers to obtain their cards and be ready for the October polls. President Weah registered at the RLG Kenanja Elementary School in District 6, Masurado County. So that's it right there for you. You listen, the Liberian leaders encouraging everyone to register to vote, because your vote is your strength. Your vote is your power. And some will say the vote is what you have to tell someone that because you are corrupt, I can vote you. I will not elect you to the House. It's a matter of must that you stay away from this process. Let's read a few of the comments on our live feed. Emmett Harmon is watching and said, following live this evening from that's from Agibee County. Thanks for following. Kojo Amspa Furniture Works says, good evening once again to you, to your listeners from Kojo Amspa Furniture Works, Adom Kumansi in Ghana. Amos Rogers Bower says from Ellen Avenue in Tottenham City, Bome County. I'm following closely. And all those of you following the broadcast will say thanks so kindly for following. And this is what we have, folks. We're going to take more calls on this development. You listen, the both leaders, Alexander Cummings and Bernard Urid, have once again they reconciled on today. They shook hands in the spirit of unity. What this means to you, these are the leaders who have for you, folks. Someone, my producer is notifying me that we have some constraint with the phone lines. I just don't know. But this is what we have. We use an alternative. We're going to use an alternative line. We'll do this up to 8 o'clock. We'll call you a day on the program. 0770 907 907 0880907 adding numbers to call. We'll take a few calls on this development. Folks. Good evening.
Hello, good evening to you, Sheku Sherry. Good evening to the Voice of Liberia. Good evening to my fellow Nigerians on Radio Land. It's great evening.
You're live.
Thank you very much. This is Efanso Kamal for the second time around a call for district number 10, and I join your conversation this evening for my resident transformer community. Thank you very much. When I hear this ruling establishment people saying, oh, opposition is not together, it can baffle me. Are you kidding me? We have multi-party democratic system in our country for 1822 to 1847 all the present. You don't expect all of the opposition ruling all opposition parties to come together as one umbrella. But reason being, whenever second round comes, then all opposition leaders will gravitate to that party. They will surface to the second round. And I will tell you, just send your mouth black guy, and it's not Bernard Kumis, Bernard Uwe, whosoever. They know that they are the hope of Liberian people. They will not doubt Bernard Liberian hope. And I will tell you today, opposition are stronger together, and we are going to
eliminate together. We'll talk to this person. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
You're live. Let's hear you.
My name is Alex So, calling you from district number 17.
Go ahead, Alex. You're live.
Yes. Conciliation between the two honorable men. Process. And so we when Yaka Kolba want to display of Cummings and Boaka at the Capitol building, he said something. He said pretty soon that one banner will see one person, you like it or not. One person go as president, another person go as vice president. What a Cummings, what a Boaka, and the two of them become one. So it is a good sign, and we look forward. We want a strong collaborating party.
Let me conclude.
Alfonso, no, we won't take you. We have so many calls coming in. Once you made your point, you be done. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. This person is right here. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Homer Wowlers are caller again. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. I'm facing a little bit. Yeah, boom. I'm right. The producer's doing everything possible with this phone line issues. We'll take one or two more calls on this development. And we call it a day on the program. Yep, this is Issues of Today. It's on a Friday. We're having this conversation, folks. It's on a Friday. It's good we have the chance every time we talk to issues affecting Liberia. Today we witnessed Alexander Cummings and Bernard Ayure after months to call each other the best of names you will imagine. And yet today we witnessed. We saw them, shaking hands. They shook hands together with a spirit of unity. What that means for the opposition community is what we discuss. And this evening we take one or two more calls on the program. 0770. The calls are coming in. I just don't know what is happening with this line. Oh my word. Oh my word. This won't happen at all. This won't happen. This will be our.
Yeah. I say I'm very happy to hear that our opposition leaders are coming together. These are things I want to be hearing for them because we believe in a leadership, we believe in an ideologist, we believe in a philosophy, more especially Enzana Kumis. We know that when Enzana Kumis take over the state power, he will shift the country, he will prosecute, he will eradicate corruption. We know corruption is important. It cannot be eradicated, but it can be minimized. So Enzana Kumis, Joseph Nima Baka, they love this country, and they will come up with one united opposition ticket will intimidate the people. The so-called elementary leadership will ever put them in power. They are frustrated our nation, they are frustrated us. We not even know what to do. So we happy to hear our leaders coming together. And thank you, my team coming in studio there, Imam Bonke. Thank you very much for your contribution to bring our people together. Thank you.
Eddie, thank you. We got to go on a conversation, folks, like we said. That was exactly our last call. We had to go. It's on a weekend. Yeah, it's on a weekend. But before we take leave, let's acknowledge our viewers, those of you viewing the program via our Facebook. We say thanks so kind for always following Voice of Liberia. We let's get this right here. Sorry, I'm not taking any more calls on this development. Obviously, I'm not taking any more calls on this development. And so we get to the phone lines. Let's get to the phone lines. This one says, Emmett Hammond. Emmett Hammond, thank you so very much. Kojo Amspad Furniture Wooks, thanks. Amos Rogers, Boyon, thanks you. Thank a lot. You, Fomba M for Finance, keep up the good work. I'm following you from Kakata, Madingo Quarter community. K. Linton Tokpai, and all of you, the live many folks, you I can just follow, can just name every one of you. Indeed, thanks so kindly. This is Voice of Liberia 104.1, and the issues of today will take a regular weekend break and to return on Monday with another fascinating edition. This has been a Harris Esbele presentation. My name is Harris Esbele, saying have yourself a God bless night.